So in this video, just to follow on from the previous live video that I've done, and it's on spiritual warfare. And what I was trying to do was show you how the enemy sort of subtly integrates witchcraft into the general running of society, into interactions, because demonic entities are constantly working. They don't stop. Demonic entities are the disembodied souls of the dead giants. So that's their ghost, their spirit. And so ghosts are very powerful. They're cosmic entities because they don't have physical bodies anymore. They're cosmic powers. And so the Bible says it here. It says it in chapter 6, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days. I'll just give you some pretext and context. Chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, women, that the sons of God, the angels, saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, beautiful to look upon. And they took them wives of all which they chose. Now, what's implied there? Angels of God, the heavenly host, saw beautiful women on the earth and were tempted and left their natural abode in the heavens, came down to the earth and impregnated those women, mingled their DNA with the humans. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. They're the offspring. The giants were the ones who came into being as a result of the angels having sex with the women. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, those children became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. These demons, when they had bodies, were really well-known men, giants, 15 feet. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination, every thought, every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Such was the influence of the demons, or the giants, the now demons. And not them alone, but the fallen angels as well. Of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it goes on to tell you the lineage. But that was the point I wanted to make to you, was that there are entities, disembodied entities, which are defeated. So their only point of access is the influence they have over men. Now those souls, those spirits, Satan and his fallen angels and the demons, they have cabals with men. They have organized secret societies with men. The Knights of the Round Table, all of that, that's all demonic collaboration. Now, demons do things in spiritual warfare. They like to set the scene. They like to state things in a manner in which there is an accusation implied or inferred. It's not directly stated, it's inferred, it's alluded to. And that's how they maneuver. The arrows that fly by day. And that's how they work. Now, the enemy has a way of throwing darts at you, but he throws them at you in ways that make them more potent. So whatever one dart he throws is fashioned in a specific way with a specific type of poison. And then the one he'll throw after that is designed to follow it up. So the one he throws before that is designed to weaken you for the next arrow he throws, which is designed to weaken you for the following arrow, which is designed. And he keeps doing this. So it's a sequence of arrows. He's not stupid. So he's designing these things, he's crafting them to have an effect on you and maximally. He's trying to have the most effect he can at every point of access. And he's not messing. He's throwing everything he has at you because he's raging to destroy your soul. Now, there's laughter and it's in all that, but behind that is the urge to destroy you. And it's very serious. The laughter might get you to drop your guard a little bit and take it less than seriously. You know what I'm saying to you? But they're hunting you and they mean to take you down. And they'll try everything. And they use the environment. They even use the sounds in your environment. They use the music you listen to. They use the cultures and the fads and the trends and the groups you're engaged in. They use everything as a weapon against you because they have helped to build the complex of man, the one we live in. It's called the world. So we live in the world. I'm not talking about the earth now. That's the natural, physical, living environment that we inhabit. I'm talking about the world, the infrastructures of men, the systems of men, the governance of men, the business of men. All of that sort of stuff, that's all Satan's remit. It's Babylon. It's Babylon the Great. So, it's again, I say you're strong. You might be led to think, am I weak then? Blessings, Anthony. So that's the point I'm making to you. So if somebody says, you're strong, that's a strong man. The question is, you ask yourself a number of questions then. Why is that person saying I'm strong? What have they seen in me that is strong? Am I strong? What about my weaknesses? So actually somebody saying you're strong can lead you to see your weaknesses. It's like reverse psychology. So if I say you're a strong man, that can actually lead you to think about your struggle again, which is actually pointing you back to your struggle because your mind was leaving it and you were starting to think about bright things and light things and flowers and children laughing. So we'd say, oh, that's a strong man, Get you thinking about your struggles again. That's how the evil spirits operate. They use reverse psychology. So it's not like they're pointing the bow and arrow at you. So you're not likely to suspect them, especially when you're relatively ignorant about spiritual warfare, which everybody is born into the earth ignorant as a child. So if you haven't been exposed to a witchcraft coven, why would you be aware of these things? You'll know how they're trying to lead you in your spirit. You'll be able to detect that. But you mightn't necessarily associate that with a demonic attack, because the demonic entities remain hidden. So what I'm saying is there's a thing in the demonic or witchcraft kingdom, in Satan's kingdom. It's called street theater. And street theater is a timed act that opportunistically demons will initiate in the people around you in the environment that they have already conquered and who are serving the synagogue of the devil. So they could be anybody around you. Their soul has been conquered. They've gone away to serve witchcraft. And so demons can then have shaken their hand and now can enter into them and access them at any time. And so demons are part of a spiritual complex, which is like everybody gets the email at the same time, you know. So things travel super fast in Satan's complex. And they're constantly tracking you. If you've ever seen people do this, look at their watch a lot around you. It's because they're probably tracking you, your movements. So they clock it. Whenever they pass you, they'll clock it. Beep. I see that a lot. So Christians will see that a lot, because the demonic entities are tracking you in this manner. Because they work on the basis of probabilities, because they don't have foreknowledge. They don't know ahead of time what's going to happen. So they operate on the basis of probabilities. He's probably going to do this. She's probably going to do that. They're probably going to do this. And then after that, they're probably going to do that. And then they'll say, well, we'll try and make them do this by this manner of influence. Then they'll probably, and if we can delay them 2 minutes there, asked about the time, then we can probably make this all match up. And so they're trying to manipulate the sequence of events in your day so that they can track you and predictably put on those street shows. It's a theater. Satan's kingdom is a theater. Street theater. And these conversations that are around the town and that, these are witches and wizards. They're talking in the environment to influence the thinking of the people in the society. This is age-old witchcraft. It's ancient. It hasn't changed that much in thousands of years. They've been using the same mechanisms because it works. And all they've been doing is increasing it. The technology has only given them more access points, but the system is basically the same. It's all the same stuff. All they're doing is basically trying to influence your thought processes to create negative cycles of thought, because that's how demons feed off of humanity. They get divine energy that comes from Jesus. They convert it by trying to get you into negative thought cycles, and then the positive light energy of Christ has been converted through your negative cycles into negative vibrations which demons can feed off. Because demons can't operate in the light, but they can feed off negative energy. See the point? That's why whenever you're positive, somebody shows up. Whenever you're beaming, you're shining, you're positive, you're thinking positively, somebody shows up, or somebody passes by. Yeah, they're always doing that. I hate when that happens. It's really depressing. Somebody's walking by you. It's a demon. There's a demon, a monitoring spirit, who is monitoring you, following you around pretty much all day long. And they're entering in to the people around you. Because when witches and wizards go away to serve the devil, they give access to for the demons to enter into their body whenever the spiritual fight requires it. Do you see that the deal that's made? And then the demons give them relative advantage in life, so that they can both serve the demons from a position of greater control, leadership positions, and the demons will give them the relative advantages to get to that position. And then once they're at that position, they have all the benefits of that position, and so do the demons, because they can use that position to further increase the remit of evil in the earth, and therefore their own power. So men and demons have been working together for a long, long time in an orderly fashion, in synagogues like Freemasonry and Eastern Star and Job's Daughters, D. Mole. All of these secret societies are actual witchcraft covens made to look like, charitable organizations. So obviously if they do charity, which they do, it's going to be easier for them to hide and to convince people that their organization is one of a charitable nature, because it actually is. So it's easier to hide behind something that's actually functioning as the thing you're pretending it is. Therefore, you don't have to pretend that that's what it is, because it is that. It's just also a witchcraft coven. See the point? So it's like the perfect disguise, because it actually functions as the thing you're claiming it is. But they tend to only help their own, you know what I mean? Or help their own more than others. So the points I'm making are that many different sort of psychological warfare tactics are implemented, and this is part of spiritual warfare. And their leading statements can be made, or things that are stated that even sound like a compliment, but they're actually designed to reverse your thinking and to get you to think in negative cycles. Because like I said earlier on, I can tell you that I can make a comment, that's a very strong man. Even in passing, So it wasn't addressed directly to you, so you don't really get the opportunity to address it consciously, which means it sort of got past your guard and you didn't get the opportunity to slap it down and keep it outside of your system, because you didn't get an opportunity to address it head on. You were flanked by it. It came in from the side, an arrow that came from the side, you know what I mean? It's more difficult to defend. And so that's what they do. They spit these things out of the side of their mouths as they're going by in society. That's how wizards work. That's what they do. Side eye and side mouth. That's what demons are. So they say things sideways. They don't address them straight on. And they allude to them and suggest. And that's how demons integrate themselves into society and how they manipulate other people through human beings. And so God raises up men every now and again to expose this and to make people generally more aware of it, and also to expose the structures that they've built through these corruptions in order to just topple them. Because actually, they're very weak structures. Because they totally rely upon the ignorance or the defeat of the people. So a deception tends to keep people struck down, spiritually struck down, so long as they're believing the lie. So when you come out and tell the truth and they're woken up to it, it totally comes against Satan's structure and actually risks his structure, his demonic stronghold, falling down. It compromises it and directly affronts it. And so if he's, building these structures through deception, and a person like myself or any other comes along and exposes them, people get to hear that and they're no longer struck down by the deception, and then they can address the issue that the deception has been trying to hide. Because the deception hides something that's attacking you. Otherwise there'd be no need to tell the lie, because you'd have nothing to hide. So a lie hides a structure that's attacking you. So the lie is like, a lie would be like growing ivy up the side of a turret that's shooting arrows at you, and you just think it's a high hedge or a tree or something. It's a camouflage. The lie is a camouflage of something that's hurting you spiritually. And that's why the man of God comes out and exposes it, and that tears it down. And God can come at any time he chooses then after that and tear it down and remove it. And the devil has to remove it in Jesus' name. To give you an example, like the politicians will come up with these harebrained schemes, like, and terms that are designed to have a negative effect in the manner of, like the term presumptively constitutional that's been used in Ireland right now. Like presumptively, or the word presumption or the word assume, which are synonyms, interchangeable terms, require the lack of evidence. To presume something requires the lack of evidence. So therefore you can't presume on the evidence, because I can't presume this is a beanie because I know it is. So you can't presume on the evidence. Much like you can't presume on the Constitution because it's a written text that you can hold in your hand and read. It's evidenced. So when the government says something's presumptively constitutional, they lie. They basically lie. You see? So we expose that lie, like, for example, the term presumptively constitutional and the nonsensical nature of it, and then it's ultimately torn down. It's really that simple. So this has been another live edition. Hope it's been helpful to you, and realise that spiritual warfare is real and it's constant and it comes in many different forms. But ultimately, all you have to do is skip over it, because it doesn't have actually any power to remove you from Lord Jesus. None. And yeah, so be blessed in Jesus' name.